You would be shocked at how many first-time homebuyers lose 50,000 not because they overpaid for their home, but because they skipped one simple $400 step that could have saved them a fortune. I've seen it happen right here in York Region South Simcoe, and today we're going to talk about the 5 biggest mistakes that quietly drain your budget and confidence as a buyer. Because here's the truth, buying your first home isn't just exciting, it can be overwhelming. There's so much to learn, so many decisions to make, and honestly, so many ways to accidentally throw your hard-earned money right out the window. Avoiding even one of these mistakes could save you thousands of dollars. We are talking about a potential $50,000 swing between a confident purchase and a costly regret. So if you're ready to get smart about your biggest investment, stick around. This isn't just about buying a house. It's about building your future on a solid, financially savvy foundation. And before we dive in, grab my free first-time home buyers checklist in the description below. It is the same one I give my clients to help them stay on track and buy with confidence. So let's get right into it. Mistake number 1 is emotionally buying and overpaying. Falling in love with that house isn't the problem. It's letting emotion override your strategy. Before my clients Mark and Jennifer bought their first home, they built what I called a home buying GPS. It was a list of their must-have, nice-to-haves, and the deal breakers. This isn't just a wish list. It's a compass keeps you on track when emotion takes over. Face it, a home is a huge investment. We always do a quick reality check before making an offer. If the home doesn't have their must-haves, we simply walk away, no matter how perfect that kitchen looks. And as we start touring different homes, that list naturally evolves for the buyers. Shopping for homes isn't just looking, it's a learning process. Every shopping tour helps buyers start to see how space really works, that function and flow to incorporate their daily life. That's when priorities start to click for them. Maybe the open concept kitchen matters more than that third bedroom, or the mudroom becomes a non-negotiable after a few snowy driveway visits. It's not just about seeing more homes, it's about understanding what truly fits your lifestyle. For Mark and Jennifer, that clarity saved them from overpaying for a house that didn't even have their top must-have, an ensuite. 3 months later, we found one that checked every box in East Gwillimbury for $30,000 less than the one they had thought would be the one they'd put an offer in for. If you're wanting more strategies like this, real stories, real data, local insights that help first-time home buyers avoid costly mistakes, hit subscribe. I post weekly York Region South Simcoe updates that keep you ahead of the curve. If this is already helpful, grab that free checklist below. It will walk you through your own GPS system step by step. Mistake number 2, skipping the inspection. A $400 inspection can easily save you $15,000, not just from major repairs. It is your maintenance roadmap. It is a way to learn what needs attention and what can wait. Every home has deficiencies. The goal isn't perfection, it is perspective. Sometimes we bring in specific pros like an electrician or a plumber or a water specialist to weigh repair costs against moving on, because there's always a next home. The inspection isn't about fear, it's about building leverage. If something big shows up, you can negotiate. You can ask for a price reduction or negotiate that the seller is to repair the problem before you move in. That's how buyers turn surprises into savings. You're not mistake number 3, buying the wrong lifestyle fit. When you buy a home, you're not just buying a house, you are buying a lifestyle. I once worked with buyers who thought they wanted the tranquility of a peace and the privacy of a rural property until the reality set in. That 1 acre looked perfect, felt perfect when they moved in. What they didn't expect was that 20-minute drive into town 3-4 times a day for every lesson, every quart of milk. What looked and felt peaceful at first quickly turned into a real time constraint surprise that changed how they viewed their day-to-day life. They had bought this home through another agent, but when it came time to sell, they came to me. It wasn't that the home was wrong, it just didn't fit their lifestyle flow. That's why I always tell my first-time home buyers, before you buy, let's test the life. Let's drive the commute at rush hour. Let's visit the area on a weekday evening, just not Sunday afternoon afternoon or Saturday morning. Make sure it fits your real routine, not just the dream you thought when we were visiting the property. The best home isn't the biggest or the newest. It's the one that supports how you actually live. Mistake number 4 is ignoring the lender's perspective. Here's an example. If we go to visit this beautifully, fully renovated 100-year-old home, which simply looks amazing, until the appraisal comes in lower than asking price. That happened with one of my buyers. They loved this home. It checked every box, but I knew that their lender wouldn't approve the full asking price because there were simply not enough comparables to support the dollar value being asked. That's where I had to step in, not to stop their excitement or, poo-poo this beautiful find, but to protect their purchase. Here's what most buyers do not realize. Appraisers don't see your brand new kitchen. They see square footage, condition, and the comparable sales. So when I sense that a property might be over renovated for the area or the sold comparables, we check the data before the emotions take over. If you happen to be drawn to that fully renovated home, ask your agent for the top 3 comparable sold prices within a half kilometer. It's the fastest way to spot a potential appraisal issue before you make an offer and potentially save yourself financing headache later. Your lender sees the market differently. Even if you can afford the payment, a weak appraisal means you'll need to bring additional cash to the deal. A good agent helps balance your excitement with the data before it becomes a problem. Mistake number 5 is ignoring the total cost and your personal cash flow. The real risk isn't what you buy, it's how you manage the purchase after closing. Your lender's stress test gives you 2% of breathing room. But what if renewal rates are higher, 4%? I coach my buyers to plan for positive cash flow. So when the rates rise, they're in a good financial position. The truth is, owning your first home doesn't get easier with time. It gets easier with preparation. Rates change, life happens, and priorities shift. If you're already budgeted for the unexpected, those changes feel like a ripple, not a huge wave. Here's a quick test. Take your expected mortgage payment and add 4%. If that number makes you nervous that you can't possibly make your bills, then scale back. Not after you've moved in. That's how my clients keep their peace of mind and their lifestyle intact. I had a couple who followed this plan because they really wanted to move in and renovate their basement when interest rates were just under 2%. I said, no, go create a basement fund. I just had a conversation with them last week and they just renewed. They were able to adjust comfortably with the new renewal price and the cash that they have been saving, not putting it onto their mortgage. They're now planning on finally renovating their basement. That's the power of buying within their comfort zone and keeping your budget fluid. Buying your first home is really exciting, but it is also where emotions, timing, and strategy collide. If you take nothing else from this, remember, knowledge is your leverage, preparation is your power, and the right plan keeps you in control long after closing. If you found this helpful, download the first-time home buyers checklist below. It's what my clients use to avoid these 500K mistakes. And also for weekly York Region and South Simcoe insights that help you buy smart, not sorry. Hit subscribe before you go. Bye for now.